from the corporate finance team at Cooper Parry. We wanted to share with you today how we meet some fantastic businesses in sectors where there's lots of deal activity. We've got hugely ambitious growth targets at Cooper Parry, and direct origination is the key to delivering these. The whole deals team get involved in origination at Cooper Parry, but when the deal execution team is busy on deals, we need a separate team to drive forward our origination efforts. So we make sure that we're focusing on the right areas and make sure that we're delivering real value to our future client base. Today I'm joined by my colleagues Megan Phillips and Lauren Doxey from our research analyst team, and also Gemma Bailey, who joined us back in the autumn to ramp up the number of businesses that we're meeting. Firstly, I'd like to introduce you to Gemma, who has a fantastic way of building rapport with business owners. Gemma, can you share which particular subsectors you're currently focusing on, please?
Sure, yes, thank you, Laura. So the areas that we are focusing on at the moment are health and social care, which includes medical devices, technology and tech-enabled business services. These three areas are where the team have most deal expertise and where we like to map the market, track buyers and recent deals to understand what maximises company valuations. We've been focusing on these areas for a couple of years now. The experience of the past year has shown us that this is where the deals have continued, as income streams are typically non-discretionary and predictable. I like to use relevant and topical insights when I'm approaching these businesses, something that they'll really find interesting. I know Megan and Lauren have been really busy creating insightful content. Megan, would you mind sharing how you go about making these articles really interesting to business owners?
Yes, of course. Thanks, Gemma. In the Deal Origination team, which I've been a part of for the past couple of years now, we closely follow the M&A activity in each of the sectors that Gemma mentioned. We write about hot subsectors using intel from meetings with private equity houses and also large corporates, which we know are interested in the space, whether they're looking to invest or grow organically. For example, we have regular dialogues with several medical devices businesses whose conversations really contributed to my most recent medical devices article, such as how their businesses were performing over the pandemic, their views on key topics such as delays to MDR or how they're coping with the backlog of elective surgeries. When we write an article, we want to document the trends that we've been seeing from the market, future trends, and what factors maximise and detract from valuations. It's great when business owners receive the article and interact with the topics that we've covered. It shows that they really appreciate it, and it can often spark really passionate responses from them. As mentioned, I focus on healthcare trends, which includes medical devices, but I also cover health and social care as well. Lauren, who's another research analyst in the team and who's on the webcast, focuses on trends in technology and tech-enabled businesses. Lauren, would you mind just sharing some of the trends that you've seen in those sectors recently?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that insight, Megan. So as you say, I focus on tech within the origination function, and I've seen some significant groundbreaking trends throughout this pandemic in my research role. So firstly, digital transformation of businesses has been prevalent across sectors, and this has been about meeting market and consumer requirements as we see exponentially rising demand for e-commerce, and digital transformation is helping to overcome situational challenges that the pandemic has presented to these businesses. It's also about creating a business that is technologically agile and adaptive to the external environment, where interacting with customers through digital channels has now become the new normal. We're also seeing a lot of data-driven decision making, so we're seeing more demand for data analytics to be incorporated in strategy. So all of a sudden, smart business leaders are questioning their instincts and placing value on data to make robust decisions in key areas, especially around kind of adjusting supply chains and managing product and service lines. Companies are also leveraging AI to increase output and generate cost efficiencies, particularly in areas like cybersecurity and human capital management. Healthcare as well is also a massive area. Robotics and AI are helping to plug skills gaps and take the strain off the healthcare workforce. And we've seen everything move to the cloud recently. As the virus has spread, people were forced to work from home, and cloud has provided a stable platform for this. For example, in EdTech, one of our really hot subsectors, the whole education sector has shifted to digital. So online learning modules have been implemented. Demand for cloud-based video conferencing and teaching has just gone through the roof. I think this links to some of the themes we've covered in our recent sector commentary. So to give a bit of context, CP is a privately owned company on a steep growth curve, just like many of the businesses we contact, and it continues to recruit senior expertise across the business with different specialisms. So as a CF team of analysts, we really try and tap into that knowledge as much as we can. So especially, for example, our high growth team, they're really knowledgeable in the tech area, and our IT team as well. We've used them when producing content on analytics and cybersecurity, for example. So it just gives us another angle to provide some really highly topical content.
Thanks, Lauren. I totally agree. There's huge benefits of being part of a wider firm. As we're on a steep growth curve, as Lauren spoke about, like many of the businesses that we're speaking to. We're often asked about Cooper Parry's focus on culture. Often targets are keen to come and have a look around our Google-esque offices or understand how the unlimited holiday really does work. And currently we're working towards our B Corp certification. So people are really keen to find out more about that. It's the only global standard for businesses which measures their performance and impact on their social and environmental activities. I think also sharing ideas across service lines is fantastic because it helps, if we can introduce other Cooper Parry teams, it helps us get to understand the businesses even better, and also is a great way for us to keep in touch. We're really keen for all of the Cooper Parry Deals team to have a background in origination. Now, Megan, my colleague, is moving into the deal execution team soon, over the next couple of months. Megan, could you please share the key points that you've learned from your origination role?
Yeah, being a part of the Deal Origination team before transitioning to the execution side of things has been actually really valuable to me. I've learned the importance of regularly catching up with business owners, as anything could have changed in their situation since we last spoke to them, especially with Brexit and COVID. They could have had a complete change of heart, and they definitely will need some new and fresh advice going forwards. With that in mind, we've tried to get consistent meetings in the diary. Since joining, Gemma has actually had great success in getting meetings in the diary with new businesses. Gemma, do you mind sharing what you think is key when you approach these businesses?
Sure, yeah. So I think it's really important to have done some thorough research before any approach. That usually consists of understanding their growth journey, what's important to them, their values, their goals, and obviously the market that they're in. When making contact, I always ensure every approach is personal and always adds value.
Thanks, Gemma. I think the personal touch is absolutely vital. It helps us stand out, and it also shows that we've thoroughly researched the individual and also their business. As well as increasing the number of businesses we're meeting, it's also really key for us to keep in touch with the businesses that we already know. We need to find out what is useful for business owners. We need to be proactive, and we need to present opportunities to them. It might be a potential acquisition opportunity that we know is really relevant for them, or it could be we may be putting them in touch with somebody else. They might be wanting to strengthen their management team, for example, or to think about a new non-exec. So to conclude from the webcast today, the whole Cooper Parry Deals team is thoroughly focused on origination, but we do have a separate origination team as well to drive forward our efforts. We need an origination team to build up a pipeline of future work, and we're looking forward to sharing more content with you shortly. Thank you.